Hey, greetings, guys. Hello, good evening. What's happening? Stephen, Merry Christmas. Mike, good evening. Everyone's saying hello, Adrian. Hello. Nick's in the house, Archer. Who else is excited to load up on elites? Everybody is excited to load up on elites. I mean, I think you're going to still need some troop choices. I think probably what's going to happen, for me anyway, I think I'm going to run... I think I'm going to run 2 squads of incursors. Or 1 squad of incursors, 1 squad of infiltrators, maybe. And that'll be my elites. That'll be it. I think it's going to give us a little bit more flexibility, and I'm excited about that. Alright. Thunderhammer Death Company, that's where we're at. I ran the 10-man Death Company again this week in the battle that I played, and I really don't like 10-man Death Company. I think you're much better just doing like 5-man Thunderhammers or 5-man Infernal Pistols and Power Swords. If you fight Armor of Contempt enemies, or in my case Votan, who basically also have Armor of Contempt, chainswords just don't do anything. So lackluster. Robert just finished cleaning the house, so he's knackered. That's all good, Robert. You can take a night off of hobby. I wasn't sure if I was going to do too much tonight anyway. We'll see. I've kind of been doing nothing today because, I mean, I can help a little bit around the house for Christmas, but like I can't wrap presents and I can't cook things and I can't do a lot with one hand. It's very frustrating. Also really hurts kneel down. So yeah, I've kind of had a lazy day while the wife's just done everything. I've just looked after the kids for a little while. So it was a very easy day for me. Which is kind of funny because normally Christmas Eve is hectic as all hell, right? I don't know what I'm going to do in these guys' offhands, though, because I don't really have an idea for their offhands. Like, these aren't Death Company Power Swords, Thunderhammers, these are Vanguard Veteran Thunderhammers. Which means, basically, I'll have one arm to figure out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna run 3 Death Company. The Sanguinary Ancient, for sure. I may even bring a Relic Contemptor back into my list, you know, if we've basically got one more elite slot. I like Volcon Contemptors. I think there's a place for them in the meta. They're good at countering certain units, that's for sure. Units they counter are things like Sisters of Battle Sacrosancts on their 2-up saves. Well, they don't have any protection against mortals, right? This is the double-handed one here. So I guess we'll have one Thunderhammer that's double-handed, because I've got the bit here, I may as well use it. Mike says Intercessors pointing arms for incursors or the Intercessor kit. Oh, that's interesting. I do have one of those kits. Pointing arms. Could definitely. I know. I might have a grenade arm somewhere, Mike. I'll probably make the whole model bar that arm and then come back. See, I like to put on the head once I know the position of their arms, so maybe I'll have to try and find some of those pointing arms. There is a reveal show apparently tomorrow. Do you know what time the reveal show is tomorrow, Robert? Evening, Podger. The thing that, I mean, you say the Sangre Ancient no longer wastes an elite slot, but also a Judiciar doesn't waste an elite slot either now, which is pretty cool. So maybe, and I heard the rumor I heard that was Blade Guard veterans are going down. No Armor of Contempt in Warzone. I doubt they're going to remove Armor of Contempt. Marines, Armor of the Contempt is the only thing that's keeping Marines in the meta. I mean, Marines are already super low. I very much, unless they've got a different rule for them, I can't see them removing Armor of Contempt. I really can't. We're not strong enough without it. Alright, I hate making these double-armed monstrosities, so this is going to suck even more so with one arm. These things are a nightmare to get the parts together right, so yeah, this is going to suck. I have to try and like put it on and grab the other arm. Here we go. Told you it's gonna suck. These things are bad enough when you're fully able, aren't they? Maybe if I try and join the hammer together first. I don't think there's enough of a contact point to get that to join first. Brick says, "Hey John, loved the holiday video. Also, I thought the company champion now with a free slot with him." Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to see some more interesting things, right? I do think you're still going to need OPSEC. So I think some people will just ditch OPSEC completely and not run any troops. I think that's the wrong call, personally. Hey, I think I might have done it. Oh, I'm pleased I managed to do that. Those the arms where they join the two parts of the weapon, that's nightmarish at the best of times. That's even more nightmarish with a broken arm. That's okay, I'm okay with that. Cool. Good evening, Dictator. When I finally get my double arm right, I love the look. Yeah, I mean, the look's cool, but yeah, it's a pain in the arse to do, isn't it? Good evening, Archer. Merry Christmas. I'm just getting my daughter ready for her... I was going to say, is it her third Christmas? I think it's actually her fourth Christmas. She's 3 and a bit. We've told her to stay in her own bed the whole night so that Santa will come, and if we've told her if she sees Santa, make sure you thank her for the presents. Hey Braden, thanks for dropping in. Merry Christmas, Wolfgar. Best Xmas gift GW gave me. What is the new patrol? Well, that's an interesting sword. That's a sword I don't think I've ever seen before. What sword is that? It's an Imperium sword. That's an old one, is it? Anyone know what sword what this is off of? A friend gave me this one. The hell is that sword from? It's kind of cool, but where's it from? From the command box. Merry Christmas, syntax error. It's Dark Angel's Terminator sword. Oh well, this Dark Angel has left the Dark Angels and has joined the real angels, I guess. I might cut my troops and my eliminators to run 2 armigers. You could definitely run some armigers. I suppose armigers... that's interesting, actually. I suppose armigers do provide you a bit of obsec, don't they? Huh, never thought of that. I think the Helverns are possibly the better option for the armigers, though, and Helverns are kind of like backfield units as opposed to coming up forward and obsecking stuff, I guess. But then I guess you could have Rights of War for that. Could be an option. The new detachment definitely... If you didn't watch our stream the other night, Mark said that he thinks the new detachment's basically like GW saying it's the end of the edition. Do whatever the hell you want. And I do feel a little bit like that's what the new detachment makes me think. Makes me think it's the end of the edition and you can basically do whatever the hell you want for 6 months till this edition ends or something. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But that's genuinely how I feel. Where's my damn nail file? I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on, honestly. Where is my nail file? I think I've got more. 1 second. Oh, it's on the floor. Ow, that hurt. I start moving one way and realize I don't need to go the other way, it starts. This sword is for Dark Angels, is it? I don't care, I'm going to put it on a Death Company. It's a unique sword that I've never actually seen before, so... One of my Death Company's going to have it. I could give him a Blood Angel sword, but I've got plenty with Blood Angel swords, I feel like. There's not a Dark Angel's marking on it, so it should work fine. Company champions haven't been able to take jump packs for like a couple of editions at this point, I think. Hey, Scooby, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hey, Vicky as well. Are we getting raided? Someone raided me the other night. I appreciate it if there's a raid coming in. Yeah, you have to deal though, right? Because I've got a broken arm. I am. Thank you. I was skateboarding in like negative degrees because I'm an idiot, and I basically can't paint, and my arm has to be pinned to my side for I don't know, like 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks. Yeah, I feel like a right idiot though. So it's a consolation. One of the guys actually at my work was cycling to work like the day after, and he slid on the ice and had to go to the emergency room as well because he like busted up his hip. So that made me feel a little bit of a less of an idiot, but I mean, I'm still an idiot. Hey, thank you so much. Wadglass says, hello there, a question. If I try to field a Kratos, I need to use the relic rules if I use it in my Blood Angels army. Syntax, thanks so much for becoming a channel member. I appreciate it. That's a nice Christmas present for me. I hope I've given you guys value this year. But yeah, thank you so much for becoming a member. You need to pay the CP for Martial Legacy, if that's what you're asking. So it's like 1 CP to include the Kratos. The thing you need to be aware of the Kratos, thank you to everyone that's following in on Twitch, and thank you to whoever raided me on Twitch, because someone must have raided me, because I just got 25 viewers. Tell me who raided me, so then I can drop them a follow and give them a raid back. Someone tell me that. Francesco, thank you. Merry Christmas. The thing you need to be aware of with the Kratos is it's got like 18 wounds, right? Which means you can never obscure it. which can be an issue because I've gone to GT. No, sorry, I went to a RTT with a super heavy tank not that long ago. I ran an Astraeus with my Blood Angels, and it was actually really fun to run the Astraeus. Like, I like the Astraeus. Ever since they changed the rules so you can include it for like once, I think it's just one CP because the Astraeus doesn't have Martial Legacy because it's a Primaris vehicle. So you just need to pay the 1 CP for the detachment. Arguably now, with the new rules coming out, you won't have to pay any CP for to include the Astraeus, which maybe makes it even more attractive. But the thing about the Astraeus is that it's like 30 wounds. Same. So basically anything over 18 wounds can't be obscured, which means if the enemy can see any of it, or even if they're just in line of sight, I think they can shoot it. Which basically means like you could have a giant 5-inch obscuring piece of terrain and it could be sitting entirely behind it, but it doesn't matter, they can still shoot it. Gus the Hut, thank you so much. What do you do on Twitch, Gus? Maybe I can send you some followers someday. I thought the Kratos tank didn't have Martial Legacy. I'm not sure if the Kratos tank has Martial Legacy. I never got round to buying a Kratos. I did do a video on YouTube about the Kratos, talking about its rules and talking about how much damage it did. So if you search Blood Angels Kratos on YouTube, you would see my video about it. I'm sure I mentioned the fact that you can't obscure it in that video as well. The new detachment seems insanely broken. The new detachment is not broken. The new detachment is Games Workshop saying, play whatever the hell you want for the next 6 months because a new edition of 40k is coming. I think that's what the new detachment is trying to say. True line of sight even if behind obscuring terrain. So what does that mean, Eric? Does that mean that even if you're completely obscured, they can still shoot you if they're within range? Because we had this debate on stream because it doesn't happen very often where it was like, Andrew had a squad of multi-meltas, like Retributors, Sisters of Battle Retributors, and he had them lined up in a line of 5, like 20 inches away, and there was 2 obscuring walls of terrain between the Retributors and the Astraeus, and we just agreed that like he can still just shoot the Astraeus even though there was 2 walls of terrain and he couldn't see it at all, because I think that's correct, and I couldn't. We couldn't find any rule that contradicts that because it's just basically like obscuring doesn't matter. I'm making some Death Company with Thunderhammers, and I'm making some with Infernal Pistols and Power Swords. I already have a squad of both. Like, I've got a squad that's 5 Thunderhammers, and I've got a squad that's like 5 Power Swords and Infernal Pistols. Both are good. So I'm just making more of both of those. Because I don't like the 10-man Death Company anymore. And there's a couple of reasons I don't like the 10-man Death Company. Chainswords I don't think are very good anymore. I mean, Chainswords have been in a weird position this edition, right? Because they started with like no AP and then they got 1 AP, but then everything now ignores 1 AP, so they're basically back to where they were. So I guess I don't overly like Chainsword Death Company anymore. Oh, let me ban this idiot that's spamming about hot girls. 1 second, I gotta boot up my tracker ball. Put this user in timeout. We always get someone coming in here trying to spam. I've got this little tracker ball so I can get some movement out of my bad arm. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. You still have to draw a 1mm line to it without being blocked, but you can pass over the terrain. ITC rules for terrain this year in the US say at least the bottom floor of terrain is supposed to be completely opaque, no windows. Yes, but if you're 18 wounds, you can... The ruling is just like, if you have more than 18 wounds, you cannot be obscured, right? How are they so hot? It's the middle of winter. Yeah. It is the middle of winter. I'm actually hot at the moment because I have a giant light in this room. Oh, fuck's sake. It's hard for me to ban bots. Seriously. I can't. It's hard for me to use both arms at the moment. So if you could just refrain from spamming my channel with stupid sex bots, I would appreciate it. Okay. How out of place is this sword going to look, though? if it's a Terminator sword, because it feels like it's kind of giant in comparison to this model. I mean, it definitely feels more like it would be better to put on like a commander type model. I think probably I'd have to leave this and put it on a commander model, because it kind of feels giant. Yeah, I think it's too big. That's okay. We'll figure that out. What do you suggest about the rumor Armor of Contempt is gone and the points going down, except Sanguinary Guard going back to 32 points? I think those rumors are bullshit, because Blood Angels only have a 47% win rate struts, and I mean 47% win rate when you've got like Tzeentch demons running around with a 70% win rate already. It's kind of stupid in my opinion, but I really don't think there's any... If Sanguinary Guard and Death Company go back up to 32 points per model, well, I've been saying in my stream for a while, I would prefer it if people didn't just spam Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, because what will happen... I literally said if people just... Because a few people won less tournaments or did reasonably well at tournaments just spamming Death Company and Sangard, and I was like, if you do that, Games Workshop will think that we're competitive and those units are good because one player somewhere managed to get to the top. So everybody's doing it. It's going to be very frustrating, because Sanguinary Guard and Death Company both die very, very quickly. If they don't kill what they charge, they're usually always dead. And also, if they don't kill what they charge, they're not that good anymore, right? Because, like, Red Thirst falls off, Shock Assault falls off, Savage Echoes falls off. So all of a sudden you have, like, a Thunderhammer Death Company guy that has 2 attacks and no +1 to wound. So basically you're getting, like, maybe 1 Thunderhammer hit. Like, it's really underwhelming. And, yeah. I mean, maybe that if they do that, it'll change Blood Angels again. Probably for the worse. I imagine our win rate will drop again. Merry Christmas, Nathan. Giant swords are better than tiny swords. I mean, probably with my luck, I'll probably roll better dice with the giant sword than the tiny sword, but who knows. I don't know what I think about Sangard and Death Company going back up 2 points per model. They've jumped them up and down all edition. I think that's the most frustrating part about it. It's like, just balance them. Like, just choose a number and leave them there. Like, stop bouncing them up 2 points and down 2 points at every edition. The list that actually won that tournament, like the big tournament, I can't remember what it was, Kansas City Open. It was a skew list, right? Like, it's a complete skew list. Like, the guy wasn't running any troops, I think. He had a patrol and a vanguard, and you just went all Death Company and Sangard. Maybe he had like 1 assault squad. And yeah, I mean, in some situations, a skew list like that can win an event, but I don't think they should be balancing Sangard and Death Company on the fact that one guy did well in one event by running like 5 squads of Death Company and 3 squads of Sangard. Like, it hurts everybody else, because everybody else is not running those skew lists and everybody else is trying to have fun. At least I am. Like, I have... I'm going to make my channel trailer. Again, I mentioned that on a few weeks back, that I'm going to make a new channel trailer. And in my channel trailer, I'm going to pull all my Death Company and all my Sangard out, and I'm going to have everything lined up, and I'm going to have my whole army there. And you'll see, if I wanted to run all Sangard / all Death Company, I could 100% do it, because I've got a shitload of both those models. Yeah, some of them aren't ideally, or I was going to say, some of them aren't quite optimized in terms of like what loadouts they have and stuff. In that, like, I've got Sangards with plasma pistols, and I've got Death Company with hand flamers and nonsense like that. But like, if I wanted to go just complete skew list, I could do it. I just don't want to do it. I don't want our army to be only 2 units deep. Because what's going to happen, and what I've been saying for a while, is if they take the 2 units that are making us competitive and they say, well, everybody's running those 2 units, let's put them up in cost, then all of a sudden our win rate will just plummet again, and it'll be, because it was like, there was like a 6-month period before Hour of Contempt when playing Blood Angels was just like super frustrating, because we weren't in a good space. I was losing games all the time. I mean, what else is there to say, right? I bought the Blood Angels Combat Patrol for my Dark Angels a couple of weeks ago. It came with 1 Blood Angels upgrade sprue, and I got a Space Wolf Primaris Lieutenant in their Combat Patrol. It was kind of neat because I didn't want the Blood Angels sprue to begin with. Yeah, they put, like, I know in the Combat Patrols they put an upgrade sprue. It's not the greatest sprue, but they do put one. I actually think the Death Company, like if you're wanting Blood Angels decals, you're better off buying the Death Company box. They get a lot more better decals. But like I'm just hopeful that they don't change Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, and my view on the situation is I'm not going to run a SKU list that is all Sangard and Death Company, because one, I think it's boring to have an army that's only got like 2 units in it, and also I think I think I want to be an advocate of like, hey, there's like 100 Space Marine data sheets. I know myself, I have like 50 different data sheets all painted up, you know, like I've got, once you see all the stuff I've got painted, like I have a lot of different painted models. So I really hate the fact that, like, you know, we're only supposed to use 2 of them to be competitive. Like, nah. I want it to be that we can use, I want at least like 20 competitive data slates in the codex. And also, what about all the things that are uncompetitive? When are they getting addressed, right? Like, I hate that they're just like, oh well, we'll just put Sanguinary Guard up 2 points, or we'll put Death Company up some points. Well, what about all the other units that no one runs? Ball Predators is a good example. They dropped Ball Predators. Nobody runs them. They're still overcosted. What else have they dropped that's still useless? I mean, are Flyers? No one runs Flyers. Maybe you can run Flyers now with the new detachment rules. But, I guess we'll see, right? Oh, you were saying the Space Wolf upgrade sprue shouldn't have been in the box. I haven't had that issue personally recently, but I have had back in the day, like I'm talking like 10-15 years ago, when you would buy boxes and sometimes you might just, this was more when like the models used to be metal and they didn't come on sprues. I definitely had it before where I would buy a box of models and there'd just be a model missing or something like that. So yeah, maybe if you got the wrong sprue, contact customer service. They're generally very good and very helpful. The next great unit will be the Invictor Warsuit. I mean, Invictor Warsuits are terrible, absolutely terrible. I don't know what faction can use them. I've never bought any of them myself. I've seen no reason to. So yeah, maybe the Invictor Warsuit could go down a ton of points. I mean, I'd rather that they did that than just try and hike up like popular units. Because if we're at a 47% win rate and we have to do these stupid SKU lists to get wins, then I'd argue that there's a lot of units that aren't competitive. So like, make them competitive before you try and start removing the units that are actually giving us a chance, or increasing the cost on the units that are actually giving us a chance. But yeah, Games Workshop have struggled this edition to get the balance on Death Company and Sangard right. But it's to the detriment of everything else, right? Like, no one runs the Blood Angels Dreadnoughts. No one runs the Ball Predators. No one runs Storm Ravens. So it's like, no one runs Strut's got a Storm Raven gunship today. Well, the cool thing about Flyers now, good evening, Jamie. Sorry, James, I just saw you jump in. Has anyone played around with the Kratos yet? Is the full Volkite build as fun as it seems it would be? I think the full Volkite build looks okay on the Kratos. I did a video about that, but I do think if you just want Volkite output, I think you're actually better running 2 Relic Contemptors with double Volkites. I think they'll do more than the Kratos. And they obviously benefit from the fact that they're core and they're -1 damage and they have an invulnerable save. And they don't profile, they don't bracket, because they're less than 9 wounds. Alright, so we need to find 2 left arms. I need to find like an arm piece for this guy. They should buff the Furioso Dreadnought. They should also buff the Death Company Dreadnought. The thing about the Stormraven, sorry, I got distracted. The cool thing about the Stormraven now is you'll be able to strategic reserve it for free, apparently, rather than having to spend 4 CP to strategic reserve it. So, like, at 4 CP, no one is ever running the Stormraven, because that's insane. But with a free strategic reserve, I feel like there's definitely possibilities now for some sort of Stormraven play where give the Death Company Dread a 10-inch move. Well, it definitely needs more than a 6-inch move. I'll tell you that for sure, James. I really think Death Company need their Feel No Pain buff to 5, you know that? Because 6 Feel No Pain is just right. It's not that good. It maybe was good before, but there's so many 3 damage weapons, 2 damage weapons in the meta. The Death Company Feel No Pain kind of feels irrelevant at times. And those new squats, the Berserkers, got like they have a 5-up Feel No Pain and a 4-up Feel No Pain against 1 damage weapons. I mean, maybe that's what the Death Company need to be competitive. And maybe the Refusal to Die could get could stay or something. Marcus thinks you could use a Ball Predator to terrify your opponent as an Alpha Strike. I mean, I really don't know how you use a Ball Predator, Marcus, I'm afraid. I have like 5 Predators. I heard a rumor that Predators are going down in points. But I don't know if it will be enough, I guess. But I did hear they were going down in points. I just want a Death Company Redemptor, so it's useful. I painted one of my Redemptors Death Company, and it looks cool. It does look cool. A few people actually asked me, because I took it to a tournament, a few people were actually like, oh cool, a Death Company Redemptor, what does that do? And I was like, oh, nothing. It's just painted Death Company. And they were like, oh shucks, that sucks. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'd recently... That's usually what happens when I'm painting. I think I'd just recently finished painting 2 Redemptors, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to paint a 3rd Redemptor. So I was like, alright, yeah, let's go Death Company on the 3rd Redemptor, just so it's not painting the exact same thing again. Thank you so much for following. Too Many Sprues. I know that feeling. Too Many Sprues. That's a cool name. How do you use the Impulsor tank with your army? I mean, I have an Impulsor and I don't use it. I would like to use it. I was actually painting my Repulsor Death Company colors as well, just because I thought it would be cool. Yeah, I don't use the Repulsor. I think if you compare it to that Votan transport, the Sagitar, I think it's called, the Impulsor is way overcosted compared to the Sagitar, I think. Like, overcosted to... Like, it could maybe drop like 20 points, no problem. Maybe even more. Curtsy has got done painting 3 Devastators today. James has 2 golden Relic Contemptors and a golden Redemptor. I've never done a golden... Never done a golden Redemptor, but that sounds like a cool idea. Alright, let me grab a couple of heads here. Hey, someone else is following. Poninator. Thank you so much for following. A lot of people following in tonight from Twitch. I appreciate it. Thank you. You can also check out my Blood Angels Commander channel on YouTube if you want to get an archive of millions of Blood Angels videos, because there's a lot of I do a lot of Blood Angels content on YouTube as well. So thanks so much for following over on Twitch. We're also live most Wednesday nights for live battle reports, but I did do a live one this week, but my broken arm was hurting so madly. Like, leaning forward is the worst thing for me with the broken arm, because if I lean forward, basically the bone needs to stay straight down the side of my body. So if I lean forward, I kind of have to try and keep my arm straight or parallel with my body, and it's just fucking sore. So, too many spears is a salamander commander. Oh well, welcome, brother. Nice to have you. Thanks for following. Ponerator says new to Warhammer 40,000, but starting army. My starting army is Necrons. My Fed said there was an alliance with the Blood Angels and Necrons. I was wondering if you knew more about this or could expand. There is sort of like an easy alliance between Blood Angels and Necrons. I'm actually not sure. I think so. I know in the Dawn of War video game, Blood Angels and Necrons were enemies at the start of that video game, right? And then there was like a meme made with Blood Angels and Necrons fighting alongside each other. I think it was more like the enemy of the enemy is my friend, right? And was it that where they were basically stood side by side to fight Tyranids? Hey James, just tried out Darktide. Darktide is really fun. I'll need to get you added on Steam, James, because I don't really have many people I game with these days. I got nobody really apart from Tony and Mark, so getting some more people on Steam that play Darktide would be cool, for sure. Alright. They had a truce to kill a bunch of Tyranids. Was that in a book then? Because I've read a few Blood Angels books, but I never read any book where that they had a truce to basically fight against the Tyranids. But I imagine if people are saying it's a thing, it must have been in a book. So which book was it in? Does anyone know? I do like some of the helmets you get in the Death Company box. They're very fitting. I want to say he's been playing Darktide and on and off. Poninator says he's thinking about picking Darktide. It looks cool. Yeah, I mean, it feels very much like a Left 4 Dead style game, which is cool because I've played Left 4 Dead back in the day. I like games like that where it's like co-op and you can just sort of like, I guess, like jump in, jump out. Is that the right phase? You don't have to play for like 4 hours. You can just play for half an hour. When you've got kids, being able to play for like half an hour, it's good. It was mentioned in passing in Dante. I was going to say I read the Dante book. I don't remember any references to Necrons, but it's been a few years ago since I read that one. I was thinking of going back and reading Dante again, actually, starting at the beginning, because I did really enjoy the Dante book. It is one of my favorite Blood Angels books, I guess. They had to fight on a world infested with Nids. The world was a tomb world, and the Blood Angels were sent down to deal with the Nids, not realizing that the Necrons were going to awaken to try and protect their tomb. They ended up fighting together. Okay, appreciate that. Max says he loves the ability to pick it up and put it down. Yeah, I mean that's as a father, that is the most important thing when it comes to like being able to do video game stuff. I was gonna say, I wonder if I take a little bit off this arm to try and get a better angle. I hate it when you put the models together and the arms are like what am I trying to say, when they're like when they're in front of the model, I guess, so it makes it a pain in the arse to paint behind the arm. Any details behind the arm are a pain in the arse to paint. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. So sometimes what I might try and do is like snip a bit of the arm like that so that I can get it on at a slightly different angle. And then try and cover that with the shoulder pad that you'd be putting on anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Syntax, thank you so much for becoming a member. I hope you have a nice Christmas. I do appreciate the support, and safe journey wherever you're going. Nathan played the occasional game of Dark Tide today, but I platinumed God of War Ragnarok. Holy shit. Well done. I just started God of War Ragnarok. I like the first one. It'll be months before I platinum it, though. 100%. I think I should have snipped that off before, because I've loosened the hand a little bit here, so. Try and put something back in that. Balls. So do I have a bit of tissue paper? Mop up the extra glue. It's fucking difficult doing hobby stuff with a broken arm, I'll tell you. I was trying to use a mouse yesterday and it's so frustrating. At least I'm able to do something, right? I ran over that. I dropped that sprue in the ground and ran over it with my chair, and it knocked one of these jump packs off, backpacks off. My entire army scheme is quarter panels, so I do way too many sub-assemblies. I used to try and do sub-assemblies, but honestly, it just annoyed me, so I don't bother anymore. I also found that, like, when you're sub-assembling, like if you're using plastic glue, sometimes the plastic glue... Exo, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. The plastic glue will, like, end up taking the paint off something you've already painted, and that drives me wild, so... I gave up on sub-assemblies. I just make them, spray them, paint them as best I can. Amit says, for some reason, our projects usually align. I'm building 10 Death Company now. How is this loadout? 3 Melta Pistol and Power Sword, 2 Thunderhammer, and for a 5-man squad. I think, well, I mean, the way I've been doing it is trying to run a 5-man squad with James, Merry Christmas. Hope your kid goes back to sleep. I've got a baby monitor here for monitoring my kid. I think for Death Company, you want a squad of either 5 Infernal Pistols, 5 Power Swords, or like 4 Thunderhammers and the Chainsword. You can also do 5 Thunderhammers. This Thunderhammer is gonna look... I'm gonna have to do something here. It's not working! Some of these arms would be difficult to do anyway if I was fully able, so... Come on, stay. So I'm not really happy with his wrist there, but... and it's drooping when I let go of it. At least it's not across his body now, so it won't be a pain to paint. Not overly happy with that one, but it's fine. Eric says my entire army is kitbashes made from orcs. Okay. I base paint the sub-assemblies and assemble and paint the rest. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes a lot of sense. James, season's greetings. Welcome, welcome. Not sure how long I'm live tonight for. Just thought I'd get on with these Death Company. I'd like to get to the point where I can spray them sooner rather than later. How long have I been supporting Blood Angels? Since, like, 1990... Well, I don't think you can see behind me in my camera. You can just see in my little camera here. That's the second edition box set. So that was the first... That's when I got into 40k. The second edition box set that had the... What did the second edition box set had? It had 40 Gretchen, 20 Orcs, and 2 tactical squads of Marines, which I painted as Blood Angels. So whenever that came out, long time ago now, that's when I got into the Blood Angels. So Christmas reveal tomorrow. New edition anticipated, Season of Sanguilla. Are we going to see Dante tomorrow? I mean, that would make my Christmas day. That would make a lot of people's Christmas day, right? That would ruin my plan of not doing any pre-produced content for a few weeks, though, because I'd have to make a video about that. 100%, James. Hey, good evening, Jacob. Jacob's going to be doing some painting later. Nice. Nice. I'm taking some of these Sanguinary Guard shoulder pads off these older Sanguinary Guard sprues that I have because... well, because I want to, I guess, but also because I think that the shoulder pads that come with the Death Company are very cool, and I like to sometimes save some of them. So that I can do them with like so I can make like Blood Angels custom characters. So because of that, I had like some old Sanguinary Guard sprues here. These are what these are. Here's some old Sanguinary Guard banners. I really like that helmet there with the like Iron Halo sort of feel. I think that's a pretty cool helmet for a character and or a Sanguinary Guard. Sometimes I do put like oh, have I got 2 of those helmets? If I've got 2 of them, I'll maybe put 1 of them on. Maybe I'll save them. I was gonna say if I've got 2 of them, maybe I could put 1 of them on a Death Company, but maybe I'll save them because I don't know what... If we are going to get some new characters, it would be cool to have some Sanguinary Guard helmets that make those characters feel more unique. I could put a death mask on one of these Death Company, though. Like, I sometimes do that because who's to say... Merry Christmas, Campbell. Who's to say that, like, the Sanguinary Guard don't fall to the Black Rage, right? So that's why sometimes I give, like... a Death Company guy Sanguinary Guard face because like they can fall to the Black Rage just like anyone else, right? Alright, so there's 4 shoulder pads and 1 helmet. Need 2 more shoulder pads at the moment. Stop dropping the sprues on the ground. It's so hard to bend down and pick them up. Too Many Spoons has linked his custom Salamanders chapter master. Let's have a look. I can't say your name, Tizo. Tizo? Thank you so much for following. Alright, let's have a look at this custom chapter. I like the buggies, man. I still haven't bought any ATVs, you know that? Drop pod. Oh no, it's not Impulsor, it's a Gladiator, it's a Lancer. Have you got the Salamander special character? The Special Primaris one. I don't think I see him. Because bloody those kits are baller and we can spread out our bling, they look glorious. I really enjoyed putting I had some Terminator shoulder pads, like, you know, from the Blood Angels Terminator set or kit or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's the Blood Angels Assault Terminator sprues. I put some John, I'm just going to take that blood drop off because I just damaged it and I don't overly care about it. I converted some of my blade guard. Man, this arm is a pain in the arse. I converted some of my blade guard. They were the easy to build blade guard, and like I cut their shoulder pads, like I just hacked at them with like a Stanley knife. Took all the standard shoulder off and put the Blood Angels Terminator shoulder pads over the top of them, and it's very cool. And I wanted to do more, but I don't want to have to spend like, I don't know, 30-40 pounds on a Blood Angels Terminator kit. At one point, Forge World used to do Blood Angels Terminator shoulder pads, so if they ever come up on made to order on Forge World, then I would say that... Oh, do you know what? I've just had a brainwave. Oh, I've just had a great brainwave, actually. Oh, I'm so glad you started talking about conversions. Where the fuck did I put those? I bought those special beak heads. The new ones that no one likes. I bought a box of those new beak heads that nobody likes, but I liked them. Where did I put them? Right, you guys giving me some brainwaves, but shit. Where did I put those heads? Do you know, my plan for this holiday was to clean out this fucking room. Merry Christmas, Frank. Yeah, I am still sore. Comes and goes, I guess. Like, if I'm sitting at my desk and I can take my arm out the sling, I'm just chilling, it can be okay, and I could kind of forget that it's broken. But sometimes it can be a bit sore. Merry Christmas though, thanks. Call me a heretic if you want. I don't like beaky heads. Well, the thing is, I grew up with the beakies, right? They're like a remnant from the 90s. So if you don't like them, you don't like them. But I feel like if you were playing Warhammer in the 90s, you probably do like them. But or maybe I'm just weird. I am weird. It's frustrating that like I can't even properly file some of these things off with my knife. I feel like I can't get the friction with my, or I can't get the elevation or the strength. Are we all ready for the morning? Yes, we are all ready for the morning. All I've got to do is I'm going to sneak into my daughter's room and get 4 presents into the sack that's next to her bed. Are you excited about Henry Cavill bringing the IP public? Do you think something like new Star Wars will happen to it? I don't know what I think. I'm hopeful, but I guess I am also worried, because if you look at like the new Star Wars and the new Lord of the Rings, and apparently I didn't really watch Witcher because I've never played the video games. People didn't like Witcher. People also didn't like Wheel of Time, which was another Amazon one. So I guess I'll just wait and see. Good evening, Miles. Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great day and wish the family the best from me. So yeah, I'm excited to see more Warhammer content for sure. I mean, I guess we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully it'll be good, right? I don't know. I think the main thing will just be that you'll just have to remember that, like, and this is the thing that a lot of people forget. If you take any book that you've ever read in your entire life and then you watch the TV version of the book, it will not be as good as the book, because your imagination is infinitely more powerful, I feel like. So when you read a page in a book, like 100 words in a book, your imagination fills in another thousands of words and all this sort of stuff. So people always go like, oh, well, it wasn't as good as the book. Well, guess what? It's never going to, newsflash, it'll never be as good as the book, because the book was the thing that you consumed first, and your brain filled in all the blanks, and now you've got your own version of it in your head. And I guess that's the problem with a lot of things that get converted. The Boys is really good, so there's hope. I've never actually read The Boys comics, but I have enjoyed the TV show of The Boys. I think Carl Urban in that has been brilliant. That's helped, right? I liked Carl Urban before. I liked him in Star Trek. I liked him in Judge Dredd. I liked him in that Riddick show series, whatever it was. He wasn't in Pitch Black, but he was in like the second one. So I genuinely quite like Carl Urban as an actor, and I thought, yeah, he has definitely helped make that Boys show what it is, I feel like, because he's just that role just fits him down to a T. A bit like, I heard a rumor that he's coming back as Judge Dredd. I was actually surprised they didn't do more than one movie with him as Judge Dredd, because I thought he was very good at Judge Dredd. I thought he was better than Sylvester Stallone at Judge Dredd, right? The Boys comics are worse than the series? Okay. I've got a Death Watch sprue here. I forgot about this. I bought this to give some of my Blood Angels a little bit more character. Look at this. One of these Blood Angels is going to be... he's one of these guys here was going to be in the Death Watch. He's fallen from the... He was glorious. He was glorious. He was in the Death Watch, but he's now fallen to the Black Rage. How about that? That'll be cool, right? I saw the thing that inspired me to do the Death Watch conversion, or to buy the Death Watch upgrade sprue, was that Blood Angels show on Warhammer Plus, because there was one of the soldiers, I forget his name now, it's a couple of years since I watched it. One of the soldiers had a Death Watch shoulder pad, and I was like, oh man, I've never made any of my guys with a Death Watch shoulder pad. I should totally do that. James says, my hobby today has been to cut up some plastic card into small squares. I'm planning to use them to create colour swatches of a bunch of Vallejo reds so I can pair them to Citadel reds. You know what? Right before I broke my arm, James, I bought this, which is like Duncan's paint. 2 thin coats, Demon Red. And apparently on his colour swath thing, it's supposed to be the same colour as Evil Sun Scarlet. It's supposed to match. Doesn't look like it matches side by side, but maybe this pot, like, I'm not sure if that's the pigment of the paint or if it's just the colour of a pot. But I bought this 2 thin coats to try. It literally arrived like the morning before I broke my arm. So I'm really annoyed about that, but I'll let you know how it goes, because I'm excited to try it, and it's in dropper bottles, and I fucking love paints and I hate these GW bottles. I love dropper bottles. The white paint that I use, the Vallejo Model White, in the dropper, this one is this paint has lasted so many years. I think it's still about half full, because you just need, you just take out as little as you want, and it never dries up because it's in a dropper bottle. Greetings, David. Good evening. Merry Christmas to you, or Happy Holidays, or whatever it is you celebrate. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks everybody for all the support that I've had this year. I've had so many follows. I actually don't know how many subscribers I had this year on YouTube, but I think it must have been about 3,000. And like, we had a lot of new channel members on YouTube as well this year, like more than I ever had before. So yeah, thank you to everybody. You guys are always here, and you always understand. Like, I've gone through a lot of shit this last year. It feels like, you know, like I had to go to the hospital for a few weeks when Michael was born and couldn't stream at all, and then I can't remember, there was something else that came up like in the middle of the year where I was just like, oh fuck, I can't stream for a few weeks, and then I fell off my skateboard and broke my arm. Yeah, I love Duncan as well. I don't see as many of his videos now. I think, I guess the some of his content's maybe behind a paywall now, so I don't see as much of his content as I used to watch when he worked for Games Workshop. But I thought I'd give his paint a whirl because he was the guy that sort of taught me tooth and coats and all that sort of good jive. So, and I would love to find a range of paints that's similar to GW that just comes in dropper bottles. It was a little bit more expensive, this one, but this is 15 mils, and these GW ones are 12 mils, I think. Let me check. I'm sure these are 12 mils, does it not say? Must say. Yeah, 12 mils. So I think the GW one is like 260 or something. This was like 350, so it's like 90 pence more, but you get 20% more. So maybe it's a tiny bit more expensive, like to the tune of like 10% more expensive. But if it's 10% more expensive, but you don't waste any of the paint because it doesn't dry up because it's in dropper bottles, then that alone will probably end up saving you money, right? So I showed people before the trick for gluing on jetpacks or backpacks. I think it beats out GW for the most expensive per mil. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe it is a bit more expensive. I'll let you know how I get on with it once I actually can paint again. The doctors that I saw said that they're going to try and take this cast off me on the 8th of January, and we'll see how we get on. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't stop dropping models! Sore bending down, man. It's bad enough when you drop stuff anyway, when you're not got a broken arm. So the trick that I always find with these jump packs is... Hey, thank you so much for following Crypt Shadow, I appreciate it. The trick I always find when you want to glue the jump packs is get them lined up so you're happy with them. And then just use gravity. Just put it like that. Leave it there. Oh, that's out of shot there. Just leave it face down like that. Give it 5 minutes and that'll be glued. You don't have to fuck around. I do the same thing for Sanguinius Guard wings as well. And I actually made a video on that. If you're ever trying to make Sanguinius Guard, you're struggling to get the wings to stay on, just search like how I make Sanguinius Guard or Blood Angels Commander how to make Sanguinius Guard. And there's a way that you can like lie them down on their front, and the wings are just so much more easy than fucking around trying to hold them for like 5 minutes. I think yeah, too many sprues. Thanks for hanging out. You have a great Christmas as well. I was personally horrified to discover that Mephiston Red is no longer the same as it used to be. I've now replaced it with Vampire Red from Army Painter, and that worked a treat. See, I base my Blood Angels with Evil Sun Scarlet. I use Mephiston Red as like a base coat, but then I always go for Evil Sun Scarlet, and I think that's because my Blood Angels are more... you know, when I started collecting Blood Angels, they were much brighter. It was much more red, much more like... less grim dark, I guess. Like, although like the tagline of the game was like, in the grim dark of the far future there was only war. Back in 2nd edition, it was a lot of bright colours, wasn't it? I think this glue is getting on its last legs, honestly. I've ordered some more glue though. I've heard a lot of people talk about the Tamiya Extra Thin. You get like a little, like a makeup brush type thing to apply it, right? I'll maybe get some at some point. I'm pretty happy with the Revel model glue. Like, it sticks fairly quickly, and once it's stuck, if you just give it a minute to like sit or whatnot, kind of works good. Rage says I also paint Blood Angels with Evil Sun as the main colour. Not many people do Rage. I'm glad to see someone else is still on the old vibrant colours. A lot of people have moved on to Mephiston Red or some other colour, but I like the Evil Sun. Miley uses the Tamiya glue, it's amazing. There's a small brush attached to the cap, yeah. I'll need to get some Tamiya glue at some point. But yeah, reveal stream. So hold on. Like, a lot of people have been talking about this reveal stream. Excuse me, for tomorrow. Does anyone actually know? I was meaning to check Warhammer Community earlier today. I actually forgot. Which is funny because, like I said, my wife was doing all the hard work. I was basically just sitting on the sofa playing on the PlayStation all day while she does all the cooking and prepping and wrapping presents. So I had a fucking lazy day. But I totally forgot to check the Warhammer website. Does anyone know? Have they announced what time this reveal stream is tomorrow? Is it an actual thing? Because this last week, it just seems like there's been rumors, and I actually don't know what to believe it. The nozzle gets all glued up with the Revel glue. It does, but if you want a hint, Stephen? Yeah, Stephen. Sorry, I was going to say Stefan. If you get like a cigarette lighter and just run the lighter up and down the metal thing really quick, it'll unblock it in like 2 seconds flat. Just point it like down the way, because all it'll be is some of the glue's got hardened inside that. So if you just heat it up with a cigarette lighter, it'll clean it in like. I used to fuck around trying to get like a safety pin in the end or something like that. What a nightmare! Just get a cigarette lighter. You'll get rid of it. It'll be fixed in like 2 seconds flat. Alright, I need to find some alternative arms for these guys. So I need left arms. Do I have any left arms here on this sprue? I mean, that's a left arm. It could be holding a bolter, but it could always just be empty. It's a bit weird that the hand is open like that. Unless I could, like, glue a grenade into the hand, would I? I did see there was a grenade on this. We could try and have him hold, like, a grenade. It might look tacky, though. I don't really want it to look tacky. Use the bolt pistol hands. They have one anyway. No, if you take a Thunderhammer, you lose your bolt pistol. I know it sucks, but you do lose it. I'm sure I have some... Am I sure? Yeah, 100% sure, James. So typically, like, if you're running a squad of 5 Death Company with 4 hammers, then you have 1 bolt pistol and 1 frag grenade. I think Gabriel Seth is the most interesting Blood Angels chapter. Do people run the Flesh Tears often? People don't run Flesh Tears very often because they're not as competitive as Blood Angels, I guess. I don't think their chapter tactic is as good as Blood Angels. Some people love Flesh Tears, though. I don't want to flame them because quite a lot of people that watch me like Flesh Tears, but I just think that Blood Angels are slightly stronger. People have asked me a few times. Oh, look, here's knocked something. There's my cigarette lighter for handy cigarette lighter for getting rid of the those blocked nozzles. It was just sitting over there, just out of reach. Jaeger bomb in the house. Merry Sangula, everyone. Nice, mate. It's nice to see you, Jaeger bomb. I don't think I've seen you since I haven't been live streaming as much since I had my accident. But my elbow is still crazy swollen, which is really strange. Because I didn't do any damage to my elbow, but I guess because the bone up here is broken, all the blood and stuff pools around the elbow, so the elbow is still really swollen. It's not sore, it's just really swollen, which is really strange. Considering, and earlier, like last week, my forearm was really swollen, although like the forearm didn't take any damage either. But I guess because it's hanging below my heart, they said basically like all the internal bleeding and all the, there's something else, all that will just gather and take a while to dissipate. Once you cut the shoulder, it looks amazing. Go to intercessors and cursor sprue. I have a giant box of sprues. What do I need? What do I need to do? Fabulous Hawkboy soloed Kabanda and Angron, then tried 3 for 3 with the War Master himself. And yeah, we don't really actually know what happened with the War Master, do we? Do we now? Because the book's not out yet. And arguably, if he hadn't soloed the War Master, then the Emperor would be dead. So, what I want to see is, the rumor is we're getting a new Dante model. What I want to see is, I want to see like Primarch size Dante. Obviously, we can't get our Primarch back. I get that, but what I want to see is like a serious pointed model, like a proper battlefield commander that can go toe to toe with the likes of Angron, or maybe it'd be difficult for them to go toe to toe with Mortarion, but yeah, gravity pulls the swelling down. Yeah, it's just very weird that gravity pulls the swelling away from where the wound actually is, because I would have thought the swelling would be almost like the body's defense mechanism to protect the wound a little bit. But yeah, gravity. Wonder what happened if you would break your arm and like on, you know, like on the International Space Station or something. Like, where the hell would the wound end up going? Where the hell would the swelling end up going there? I am going to spray these guys basically ASAP, and I think I might start trying to paint the base colors on them ASAP as well, so that like just so I can play with them. Rage says I broke my right radius in ulna in a quad accident. Was younger. I feel your pain. Yeah, the pain now is much improved. Like I said, like if I'm just sitting watching telly or something, I kind of can forget that I've got a broken arm, which is nice because the first couple of weeks, honestly, were pretty rough. And like not being able to sleep well was probably the worst part about it, because you heal when you're sleeping, and I just couldn't find a position that was comfortable in for sleeping. So that was really difficult. Alright, more Infernal Pistol / Power Sword guys coming along. Here we go. There's one finished. I finished my first model since I broke my arm. Yeah. Should have sounded more exciting about that. Yeah. Alright. The guy with the Thunder Hammer, he's getting the Deathwatch shoulder pad. We want a giant Dante that can't make use of cover. We don't want a giant Dante. No, I don't want him to have like 18 wounds and can't make use of cover. I mean, technically, he needs to be like, he just needs to be Primaris sized, but like have really good rules, right? Do you subscribe to the theory that Sanguinius won and went into Blood Rage and attacked the Emperor? No, I don't think so. I think I subscribe to the theory that Sanguinius had done enough damage so the Emperor, because I think they're going to want to make Sanguinius's death very noble, right? So I think Sanguinius had done enough. Like, the story is that apparently like he did a chink to Horus's armor and that was enough for the Emperor to win the fight. I don't think so. I think that I subscribe to the theory he did a lot more than a chink in the armor, right? Like he fucked Horus up. That's what I want. That's what I want to happen. But like it's, you know, like at the end of a wrestling match when like both people are like completely fucked and like anyone could get the pin and they're all doing like 2-second pins and then they're kicking out even though they're basically unconscious. That's what I think it's going to be. Like they're both going to have kicked the shit out of each other. So when the Emperor strolls in, Sanguinius and Horus, yes, sure, Horus kills Sanguinius or whatever, but like Sanguinius gave him a run for his money. Like, if he had 10 hit points at the start of the fight, he's got, like, 2 hit points left or something, right? Like, Emperor just needed to hit him, like, 1 or 2 times and he was dead. So maybe the Emperor just kill-stealed it? Maybe that's what it was? That's the theory I'm subscribing to. But I guess we'll see soon, right? The next book's coming out. For sure, Sanguinius was about to kill Horus and pulled an Obi-Wan, so the prophecy is fulfilled. Maybe. Maybe he pulled an Obi-Wan. That would be cool, wouldn't it? If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine, and then that's basically the Black Rage. This big shoulder pad might be the one to cover that bogus arm that I made. Yeah, I think so. I personally think that Sanguinius' deaths, being a noble sacrifice, is the best ending for him. His whole arc is better about him, Blood Angels overcoming their violent nature to be something better. Well, I mean, it's not going to be long till we know, right? I mean, I think it's the next book that's getting released in that Horus Heresy series. I'm actually surprised they hadn't announced that this year, so I mean, it's probably going to be January, I'm guessing, that they'll announce it. Check out some of my Blood Angels that have won Best Painted at my last GT. Where you... I mean, do you want to link them in the Discord, Eric, or what? Alright, so that gives me now 5 with Infernal Pistols and Power Swords, which is what I wanted. So I can now do my full 5-man squad of them, and then once we finish these other 3 Thunderhammer guys, then that gives me 8 with Thunderhammers. And then it gives me, I've got loads with like just Power Swords. Jacob says, what would you recommend for the 40k books? I haven't read any of them. Start with Dante, Jacob. It's a great book. And if you don't have time to read, because see, I have a 35-minute walk to work every day and back, I guess, so it's like an hour. Do you not see the Imager post? No, I don't see an Imager post. Maybe YouTube is filtering it. It doesn't always let you put links in chat. Certain places, certain times, or certain sites, the link, like I'm not seeing any links in chat. If you've got like a long walk or travel, Audible is actually brilliant for the 40k books as well. They what am I trying to say? They have like actors do the different voices. They put sound effects over them. If you've never listened to an audiobook on Audible, then I highly recommend it. Honestly, I listen to a lot of like D&D books and Star Wars books as well on Audible, and my library in Audible's mad. Actually, I've got like 50 books on there, but it's great for my commute, I guess. And Dante is a great book. The Dante book is a great place to start if you've not read any of them. Alright, I'm just going to disappear for 2 seconds because I want to try and find their audio dramas. Yeah, that's more accurate. They're audio dramas rather than audiobooks, really. Well, I don't want to try and find it. I just need to get this just big giant box out of here that's got all my bits in it. This is going to take me 2 seconds, okay? Look at this. There's a box of sprues. Ugh. This box has a few sprues in it. In fact, this box has more than a few sprues in it. Right. I'm looking for... I'm looking for left-handed arms. Let me move these so they don't get lost within this fucking... Oh, like I've got more Sanguinius shoulder pads and helmets here. I like these helmets as well. I think these ones are really... These ones are really good for characters too. These like helmets with the wreaths. I also use them for like squad leaders, but like... I guess if there's some new... some new troops, squad leaders. Isn't Abaddon like 9 wounds but a lot of special rules? Yeah, he's got a wounds cap, which I don't really like the wounds cap mechanic. The wounds cap mechanic basically means like he can only take so many wounds per use your words. So many wounds per phase, and I'm not a huge fan of the wounds cap mechanic because if you have an army that primarily does damage in just 1 or 2 phases, then it really hurts you. Whereas if you have an army that does damage in all the phases, then it's not nearly as bad. So yeah, I'm not a fan of wound cap mechanics. Hold on, was that a left arm? It is a left arm, but it's not got a hand attached. I guess it's for like holding a gun. You know, wound cap mechanics hurt armies. Well, they hurt Blood Angels, and it's one of the reasons that like I'm not running a Psyker at the moment, but it's one of the reasons that I was running a Psyker quite a lot. Oh look, I have another sprue with Death Company shoulder pads on it. Oh, I even had another Death Company Thunderhammer. Oh, that's funny. So I could have made... I mean, maybe I've got the pieces to make like one more Death Company with Thunderhammer, so I had 9 Thunderhammers? I don't know. Do you know what? Maybe I'll keep 1 Thunderhammer for... Surely we're getting a Primaris Captain or something that can get Thunderhammer, right? Maybe I'll hold on to one of them. Oh, I'm happy to take some of these shoulder pads off this sprue though, so that my other Death Company sprue is really almost brand new. I was really disappointed with the upgrade sprue that you get. Like the Blood Angels upgrade sprue, the my Primaris one is terrible, and that's what you get in the Death Company box. So it's like you don't even get particularly good flavorful Blood Angel sprues in the Death Company Intercessor box, which is really annoying. Is there a... I was going to say, I think there is a Primaris. The thing about the Primaris arm is it's going to have the wrong proportions, right? Primaris arms are typically a little bit longer than Firstborn arms. See, I'm finding plenty left arms. I'm just not finding any with hands. I need them to have hands, essentially. Wow, I actually just found a sprue with 3 storm shields on it as well. How many points of Blood Angels do I have? Oh, and there's Death Company chest. Oh, well, maybe I can actually build one more guy. Maybe I can go this. Oh, and here's more shoulder pads from a Sanguinary Guard set. I have like painted, I think probably 10,000 points, maybe slightly more now. On sprue or unbuilt, probably 10,000 points. It's probably close to I have about the same painted that I have unpainted. What's the Discord? There should be a link in the video description. If you just scroll down below the video, you should be able to see a link to the Discord. Wait, oh, I found a hand, I found a hand. Yes, is it a right hand or a left hand? It's a left. That's so lucky. There's a left hand, because that hand could have literally been any. Alright, cool. We found a hand. Let me snip that off. I think this is actually off a Devastator's. I was going to say, because that's a heavy bolter, that's a heavy flamer. No, that's a combi weapon. Okay, so that's off like a veteran kit, some sort of veteran kit. Just one hand on this sprue, though. Would have been nice if there had been 2. Hand is useful, though. One hand is... What's a third of what I need? Hey Jim, good evening. I think Sanguinary Guards have hands and fists on sprues. You know what they do? I might have used a lot of them because I converted a lot of my Sanguinary Guard. And I also, when I was making my Sanguinary Guard, I'll get there. I guess it's getting late and I'm getting tired. I magnetized a lot of their arms, actually. That's what I did. Because I kept making Sanguinary Guard and kept having to come back and change the weapon options or whatever, and it's a pain in the arse. So I started magnetizing a lot of the bolter arms so that I could pull off some of the bolter arms and put on Infernal Pistol arms. And in doing so, I guess, I ended up using all the hands of the Sanguinary Guard sprues. So I don't have any. I would love to see your army showcase. I was going to be filming that video over the holidays. But I made a happy holidays video today saying that I'm not going to film that video over the holidays because it's going to be a complete pain in the arse to try and film it one-handedly. So it's going to be like one of the first videos I make in the new year, probably. Basically, like, it'll be an updated channel trailer. It'll show everything that I've got painted. I'll maybe get some of my trophies out for the oh, I've got some hands. I've got 2 here. I've got a pointy finger one. Yes. And it's even got a blood drop on it. So that's a bloody, I don't know what the fuck sprue. That's a Blood Angel's pointy finger hand with a with a blood drop on it. And I've even got like a... Oh, do you know what that is? That's the Blood Angels Tactical sprue. The discontinued Blood Angels Tactical kit. That's what this is. Because it's also got like a sprue where he's holding like... What's this thing called again? It's almost like a servo thing? Because this one's him holding like an ammo clip. Wow, that was a good find. Okay, so we've got a Blood Angel's hand. It's not going to make a lot of sense for him to hold the ammo clip when he's got Thunderhammer, though, right? It's an Auspex. Could he be holding an Auspex while he's got the Thunderhammer, or would that be stupid? That was a good... So maybe let me see if there's another hand, but that might... I haven't had a Blood Angels tactical kit for like 5 years. I just have all these old ass... I just keep all... I don't know why I keep all these sprues. I guess for moments like this, where I'm like... I need a random one-hand Blood Angel hand. Those are actually... some of those sprues are Necromunda sprues as well. Have you any grenade hands? I used some of them on the last batch that I was building. So I haven't seen any. I've got a few more sprues to look through. How many shoulder pads is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then maybe I've got all the shoulder pads that I need. They can't believe they discontinued that beautiful tactical sprue. Well, I mean, it'll probably come back with made to order, right? They do tend to bring things back with made to order. Death Company don't care about your Auspex scans, they just see Horus and know what to do. True. So maybe if I can find one other hand, that would be great. Or worst case, we can go with the Auspex hand. Or I could just like... I've got some claws here. Like from, I think that's from like a Furioso Dreadnought or something. Maybe I could just stick a claw. That's what I'm going to do. One of the guys has lost his hand. And he's got like a makeshift weapon. And it's a Furioso claw. If we don't find another hand in these last few sprues, he's going to be like fucking Captain Hook of the Death Company. Someone will probably castrate for me for that. Any predictions on what GW might release tomorrow? Sorry, did someone say in the chat, is there actual time for this release stream? Does anyone know? Is it actually happening? Like, does someone have a time? Right. Eric finally got his thing into Discord. I'm not going to be able to go to the Discord right now because you can't see it, but there's about 1 million sprues piled up on my desk. Give me a minute to look through these last couple of sprues and then put them down. Oh, I just found hands. On this Sangre Guard set, I just found 2 hands. Alright. I guess Captain Hook. We'll see. We might bring Captain Hook back. Alright. You can tell how old this sprue box is though, because look, here is metal sponsons. This is metal sponsons for a Ball Predator. Don't remember when... I don't remember when they stopped doing metal sponsons for a Ball Predator, but definitely a while ago, right? Alright, cool. We got so lucky there. I need one more left arm. This one will do. Lop it off at the elbow like he lost his arm. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I was thinking, and sticking on like a spike. That's the sort of thing that you would get on like your Plague Marines or something, right? Alright, give me 1 second to throw all this shit in here and we'll look at Eric's pictures he's been trying to get me to look at for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sorry, Eric. I'm slow at the best of times. With a broken arm, I'm just fucking tragically slow. Let me boot up this Discord. Hold on. You said it was in the modeling and painting room, is that right? These are what? What are you calling these? Blood Archangels? I'm not sure what I think, Eric. Who's this guy supposed to be then? I do like people that do that take the time in doing original slash conversions. There's something very cool and customizable about doing it all yourself, right? It's a Librarian Dreadnought. You know, I've seen a lot of people make Librarian Dreadnoughts with like custode models, which is also pretty cool. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm maybe gonna stream for like 10 more minutes. I'm probably just gonna glue these arms to the models. Sorry, I'm probably just gonna glue these hands to the arms. And then I think I'm gonna come back. Well, I'm definitely gonna come back, obviously. But I'm gonna come back like later this week, probably. I don't exactly know what my dates are for streaming. Probably gonna take the next 2 days off though to spend with the family and with the kids. I'm going to glue these hands to these arms because those tiny little hands will get lost if I just leave them on this desk, no doubt. So we'll stick the hands to the arms. I'm kind of sore anyway from... It's not the easiest hobbying with a broken arm. Hey, good evening, Code Menace. How you doing? Drunk New Year stream when? Says Benno. I mean, I'll probably be streaming on the 31st, but drunk is... I know I was blasted last New Year. I'm not going to be able to get blasted this New Year, though, because alcohol thins the blood and alcohol will mess up my healing. But I might... I mean, I'll definitely be live. Maybe I'll get some people on that are drinking as well. We'll see who's about. I'm not going out for New Year anyway, so I'll be on here for sure. I can't remember the last time I went out at New Year, actually. It always just ends up like a fucking train wreck at New Year, so... Some of my worst hangovers are January 1st. Just finished wrapping presents. Yeah, I need to sneak into my daughter's room in like 20 minutes and try and fill up her sack of presents. So... that'll be fun. So yeah, I'm gonna stream for like I'm gonna stick these arms together and then I'm gonna take off. Yeah, it'll be fun. Uh, Presumably New Year's Eve. Yeah, it'll be New Year's Eve for sure. I'm not sure if the guy that plays the bagpipes here at New Year's will be live again. Because it was my neighbour that knew him, and my neighbour's moved out, so we might get bagpipes at New Year's. We'll see. I do plan on drinking something alcoholic, just not too much, I guess. So the picture on the live stream shows Space Marines with beaky helmets on. Where did you get? Where did you find them to put them on? Oh God, the beakies are my incursors. I was really close to finishing them actually. Like they were the unit that was painting on stream right before I broke my arm. So they're like, I want to say they're like 95% done, and I was gonna finish them off. There was some Forge World beaks you could buy, or you can buy beaks on eBay. I am very lucky in that I wanted to do all my 15 incursors with beak heads, and I asked in this channel or on the community page, like the Discord, if anyone had beak heads and managed to do some trades. So some people I sent like some shoulder pads to, some people I sent some other heads to, I don't remember exactly, but I managed to trade, so I had 15 beak heads. You can find them on eBay and stuff, but people rip you off big time. Like they charge you like $1 or $2 a head. I think if you buy like a squad of Vanguard veterans, you'll maybe get like 1 or 2, which is just horrific. Like if you wanted to do 15 of them, but I don't know where I put it. Forge. I did a video like just like a month ago. Forge. Let me check Forge World because um they did a they did like Forge World did like a Blood Angels hit upgrade sprue. I bought it. Maybe if I go into Forge World, hold on, I can tell you the name of it. Um. Oh right, if you just search for yeah, here they are. I'll put it in chat. Right, you'll need to change your Forge World to your location, your like country. But that's, I think if you click that link in chat, it'll take you to Forge World where you can buy that. I bought that box of beakheads. They're not exactly the same as the ones in the photo of my thumbnail, but they're the ones you'll be able to get without spending, I guess, a ridiculous amount of money on like £2 a beakhead or something, right? And like I like those Forge World ones. I haven't. I was actually planning, like, because I've got 3 more Death Company there to put heads on. So I was planning on putting some of those Forge World heads onto them. I mean, I've not done it today, and I've put the Forge World heads somewhere, and I can't fucking find them. Like I said, my plan for this holiday was actually to tidy up my like streaming room because I haven't. I don't know. It's a mess. Shit. I've got shit everywhere. Every surface in this room is covered in shit. Um, if this camera went elsewhere, you would just see that this room is an absolute disaster. But I guess now because I'm not going to be tidying up the room because of my broken arm. It's going to be a disaster for 6 more months. Um, do you have Etsy there? They have lots of homemade stuff. We do have Etsy. Um, Most firstborn picks have 1 or 2 beakies. Yeah, I mean, I think your best bet is to try and find people that also collect Marines. Oh god, my daughter's up. I'll be back in a sec. Ah, shit. fucking moved all the boxes, so I couldn't fit out the door. Like standing at the door, like trying to get to my kid, like. Yeah, so this room is not going to be tidied up for ages. The 30k tactical box would give you a lot. Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah. The new tactical squads. How many beaks do you get in them? Has anyone actually bought them? I've been looking at the. I had been looking at the 30k box sets, but I hadn't. The only reason I haven't bought them is because I feel like I've got too much of a backlog at the moment. I hate having I guess I just hate having like backlogs of things slash unfinished stuff. I have a big backlog of stuff, like 10,000 points or something. So the only reason that I hadn't bought more, I guess, like I don't like how that sounds sitting. The only reason I hadn't bought any of the 30k stuff yet was because I don't want to add like a lot to my backlog, I guess. 20 minimum? 20 beakheads? Holy shit. Well, there you go. Forget what I just said. Because you'll pay quite a bit for those custom heads. Man, I should have just bought the beak tactical squad. Fuck, that's way better value. Yeah, because when I wanted the beak heads for my incursors, they were pretty difficult to find. Like I had maybe 5 of them, and I lucked out and find a couple of people in Discord that were willing to trade me like 5 because they genuinely just didn't like the beak heads, and I was like, oh brilliant, well I love them, so let me trade you for whatever you need. Right, that hand is not quite perfect size, but it'll be fine. Last one, and then I'm going to take off. Each sprue has 6, and how many sprues do you get? I noticed that the price of those Horus Heresy kits is very competitive when you compare it to, because like I think like the Terminator kits, like they just seem very competitive price wise. Like you get 10 Terminators for like $10 more than you get 5. It comes 24 beak helmets. All right, then that's what you should do. Forget everything I said about going and buying that Forge World one and just buy what everyone else is saying on the Discord. If you don't know where to do that, I'll show you real quick, and then I'm going to take off. Well, actually, do you know what? I'll just put a link in the chat. Hold on. Let me link you to where you can get them. They're just called tactical. It's going to say Horus Heresy. Okay, 1 second. Games Workshop, Horus Heresy. Tactical? Here we go. I think I found them. Alright, yeah, let me link this in chat and you guys can tell me if this is the right one. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay. Yeah, someone go click that link and tell me if that's the tactical squad that has all the beak helmets. I scored 4 sheets of Rogue Trader transfers for £4 on eBay. Yeah, sometimes the deals on eBay, man. I was looking for an Arsenal kit for my daughter because like an Arsenal kit is like £40 for a kid, and I'm not paying £45 for a football strip for a 3-year-old that they'll grow out of in like 6 months. I found one on eBay for £3. This is like last season's one. I don't give a shit. Merry Christmas, David. Thanks for dropping by. Guys, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, please hit the like button before you before you take off. When I come back next live stream, then I'm gonna find those beaks before, and we're gonna put those beak heads on the remaining. Kronos saying that's the box. Thank you. We're gonna put those beak heads. We'll put them. We'll put those beak heads on. We'll put them on. I'm lost for words. It's like midnight here. So enjoy your Christmas day. I will see you guys in a couple of days' time. Maybe we'll be live on the 27th. I'm maybe going to try and play one more game, because I'm supposed to have that tournament on like the 14th of January, so I need to play another game and see if I can actually manage to play. Because I was really sore when we played on Wednesday night this week. But I'd been at work all day, so I don't know if that made a difference. It might have made a difference. So maybe I'll go and try and play a game without having been at work all day and see how sore I am. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cancel the tournament I'm going to on the 14th of January. The doctor did say they'd look at taking this cast off on the 8th, so who knows. Yeah, enjoy. So everybody, hope you have a great Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you guys at some point. I did put out a Happy Holidays video today, so if you haven't seen that, you can catch up on that. Yeah, if there's any questions, you can obviously hit me up in Discord as well. And if there is a big reveal tomorrow, I guess, although I'm on holiday, if there's a big Blood Angels reveal, I'm gonna make a video on it. I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm definitely gonna make a video if there is a big Blood Angels reveal. Alright, enjoy your Christmas, guys. Don't eat too much, don't drink too much. Or do both. Your choice, right? It's a free world. Do whatever the hell you want. I'll see you guys in a couple of days' time. Peace. Good night.